Hello. If you saw my last video on how to form plural in Sinhala, part 1, then you will have heard me refer to the different patterns to form plural in a language as the plural pattern, the singular pattern, and then as the replacive pattern. And I understand that this terminology can be very confusing at times because if I refer to the plural of a word, it can be confusing as to whether or not I mean plural versus singular versus replacive, or if I mean plural as in one of an object versus two of an object. I don't see how I can continue to explain these three patterns using this terminology without confusing everybody. So because of that, I'm going to change my terminology, and instead of saying, I'm going to use the terms additive, subtractive, and replacive instead of, respectively, plural, singular, and replacive. The reasons why are because for additive, you start out with a singular, you add something to it. Pretty simple. With subtractive, you start out with a singular and you subtract something from it. Here you go. You subtract piece of from the phrase piece of furniture. You're left with the plural form of the word, which is furniture. Replacive is when a word or part of a word is replaced by something else. In this case, cactus, the end of the word cactus, is replaced with a completely different sound. So those are they're exactly the same three rules and patterns that I had explained in the last video. The only difference is my terminology that I'm using here. Additive is what I used to call singular. Subtractive is what is normally called, additive is what is normally called plural. Subtractive is what is normally called singular. Replacive stayed the same. The reason I'm doing this is because to me it's the only way that makes sense logically, because what we're doing here is we're taking the singular for all three of the patterns. Additive pattern, the subtractive pattern, and the replacive pattern. We're taking the singular for the additive. For the additive, you take the singular and add something to it, and it comes out with the plural. For the singular, or the subtractive, you take the singular form of the word, you subtract something from it, anything, you subtract some variable, some letter, sound, subtract something from it, and you come out with the plural. For replacive, also, you take something, some sort of variable, in this case we'll go with our math here, x becomes y. Okay, so something in the word, maybe the entire word, maybe part of the word, maybe some sound, maybe a phrase, something is completely replaced by something else. And you end up with the plural. Hopefully this makes more sense to you. It makes about 1,000 times more sense to me. So this is the terminology I will use from henceforth, and good luck with learning the rest of the patterns.